couple weeks ago I made a video on why, how, and what the leveling experience was like for leveling Dragoon back in the day. Why did I pick it? What was it like? What went wrong with my experience? All that stuff. And a lot of people asked, this was great, but how did you get into 11? So we've sort of shared this story before, but I guess never really in its fullness on a video. So I figured, why not? So honestly, you gotta go back to, what was it, 2004, I guess? 11 had come out, but it wasn't really on my radar. My background with games like that was that I had bought the EverQuest Gold Chest at some point because my friends were always talking up the game, and I was convinced that it sounded like something I would like. I played for about 2 days, died about 100 times, could not figure out what I was doing, did not reach out to my friends for help because I didn't want to look stupid. By the way, really dumb thought process. Reach out to your friends for help because I could have really enjoyed EverQuest. But no, did none of that and just quit. Before that, I'd played a lot of Diablo 2. That was probably the most online RPG experience that I had had at that point, where I was leveling with other friends, acquiring gear, new skills, talent trees, and I loved it. I was super addicted to it and I wanted more. And then Final Fantasy XI came out and I had no idea. I missed it entirely. One of my good friends at the time I played a lot of Diablo 2 with, I guess, he was like, hey, I just got this game, Final Fantasy XI. I was like, hey, I loved Final Fantasy 9 and 10, great games. He's like, right, this one's online. I think you'd really like it. And he kind of talked it up. I don't even remember what he said, but he just kind of was walking me through, basically, probably said the concepts of MMORPGs, like you can gather with friends, explore the world. But I ate it up. I loved the idea. So you got to buy a $100 PS2 hard drive to play the game. And I was like, okay. So I basically thought about it for like a week. I was like, I don't know. What if I don't like it? I'll have wasted all this money. I mean, back then $100 was like 4 months of game money. I don't even know where I got $100. Who knows where that money came from? So I went to, I think it was EB Games at the time. It wasn't even GameStop yet. EB Games was still around. And I bought the PS2 Final Fantasy XI hard drive. I remember my parents were like, are you sure? Are you sure this is gonna be worth it? Little did they know, it would not only be worth it, it would be probably concerningly overly worth it. So he convinced me to play it, but to be honest, he was one of like 2 people that I knew that had ever said anything about this game. He was playing with a lot of people that he knew from our school and a couple people that used to go to our school, but I didn't really know any of them yet. So I hop in, he was saying how he's like, hey, we don't really have a lot of magic users, like a black mage would be great. And I was so willing to help the team that I didn't even know yet. I was like, yeah, sounds perfect. I love magic users. I'll be a black mage. He's like, great, Tara are really good black mages. And I'm like, cool, sounds good. I want to be effective. And that was basically the end of the conversation. Looking back, I kind of wonder what I would have picked if I hadn't been so swayed by his convincing ways, basically saying like, we totally need somebody to be a black mage, which is funny because I only was a black mage for like 20 minutes before coming back to it way later. But yeah, I started in Winders as a Tara black mage, which I've had no regrets about. He met up with me. He's like, hey, here's a cape for when you hit level 7. It's gonna be amazing. What you wanna do is go outside and kill things a lot until you continuously level up. And I'll see you in about like 30 levels. I was like, what? No, he probably gave me a little bit more instruction than that, but he invited me to the link shell that he was in, which was a bunch of my friends. So we were on Odin, and it was this link shell called Black Ragnarok, which some of you may remember. It was this awesome group of people that I don't even know how it got started, but we started doing all sorts of events together. I mean, that was the classic back in the day. I joined a link shell that would say, hey, today we're gonna maybe go do this event, or somebody needs help with this, and we would do it. And that was part of the reason I fell in love with 11. It was all of a sudden I was just a part of this cool community doing these events and these fights all the time, and it was amazing. And I could get stronger and better and just continue to improve myself, and then like I would be stuck there. Yeah, you could de-level, but like my gear stayed. A lot of games, it's always kind of hurt me when you can damage your armor to the point of it not working anymore or breaking entirely. because like I love the stability of knowing that I've earned that gear, and that's sort of my checkpoint in a game like an MMO. So I'm in Black Ragnarok. I ended up meeting another 3 or 4 people that he knew at my school that I became great friends with because I met them through 11. And I actually met my best man. Many of you know him as Hayden, and his older brother, Epic. Hayden had gone to my school, but actually moved away, so I didn't know him when he'd gone to my school, and I met him through 11. Now, one of my absolute best friends. So yeah, we kind of formed this tight-knit group with the Link Shell and some of my real-life new friends that I'd made, and we pushed up to the levels, and around like the 50s and 60s, some people started to fall off. World of Warcraft came out somewhere in there, and we lost a few. But the core people remained, and it was just like this amazing experience that no other game has ever offered me. That wasn't to say it was always perfect. There were a couple moments where it almost ended. About 2 months in, I think I was like a level 42 summoner. My black mage was like 35, and I guess I probably had like a 37 white mage. And my summoner experience leveling was not going well, which is funny because I would have already earned my Carbuncle's mitts at that point. I think I put so much effort into earning all the avatars, getting the Carbuncle's mitts, and then I got to like 42 and I'm like, I think this job sucked. It did not have Fenrir yet. And it frustrated me so much, I could never get parties, and I quit. I quit the game for about a month. And then Hayden, who, I don't even know if he remembers this, we were hanging out like playing other stuff one day, and he threw on the CD for like the original soundtrack of Final Fantasy XI. And even though after only playing for like the 2 to 6 months that I played, whatever it ended up being, it sucked me back in so hard. I resubbed like that day, and then, you know, spent 3 days downloading the updates that I'd missed in the past month or so. So yeah, I mean, ultimately, I could go on and on about what happened after I started, how it evolved my friendships with the people I met in-game, out of game, that also played Final Fantasy XI, and all that's true. But ultimately, what got me into it was just one buddy who's like, hey, it's a really cool game, we totally could use some more people playing it. And he hooked me on a 17-year binge of this game. Yeah, so now, because of that guy, I've been trying to find a Final Fantasy XI replacement my entire life. So, thanks, buddy. Wherever you are now, appreciate it. Let me know in the comments your story of why you got into Final Fantasy XI. It doesn't have to be as much in detail as mine. I mean, the answer might be like, hey, I saw it was out and I got it. I saw somebody last week say that they got into it because they actually wanted the hard drive for SOCOM, which is amazing because I love SOCOM. I kind of forgot that they even offered any benefits if you had it. I think I sold myself on that. I was like, I'm going to use the hard drive for other things. It's going to be useful for other things. Now, let me know in the comments below, and join us every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. on Twitch, Eastern Standard Time. We stream a lot of Final Fantasy XI and all sorts of other games, so definitely tune in, say hi, see what we're up to. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in more videos like this, think about subscribing. And if you already have, don't forget to click that little bell next to the sub button to get notified when new videos go live. Hit me up in the comments with your thoughts on this video, or come hang out and chat with me on Twitch every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And definitely look me up on Twitter or Instagram at Hunt for Games to keep up with what else I've got going on. See ya.